Hello students, in this video I will help you understand the first unit from the second PUC English course book, Romeo and Juliet, written by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is an English poet and playwright who was born in 1564 in England. He is regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. He has written 37 plays, which are comedies, histories, and tragedies. Romeo and Juliet is one of Shakespeare's most popular romantic tragedies. Romeo and Juliet is a tragic story of two young lovers, Romeo and Juliet, who belonged to the powerful noble families of Verona in Italy, the Montagues and the Capulets. The Montagues and the Capulets were sworn enemies. Romeo belonged to the Montague and Juliet belonged to the Capulet family. They had never seen each other. Romeo was attracted towards a girl named Rosalind, who did not respond to him. The old Lord Capulet, Juliet's father, had hosted a grand supper. Romeo learnt that Rosalind, whom he admired, was also invited to that party. He disguised himself and came to the supper to see Rosalind. When Romeo comes to the supper, he sees Juliet on the dance floor and is fascinated with her beauty. Juliet is seen dancing with a gentleman named Paris, who was her suitor. She was supposed to get married to him. When she sees Romeo, she too gets attracted towards him. In this unit, we come across two scenes from two different acts. The first scene is from Act 1, Scene 5. Romeo sees Juliet for the first time and instantly falls in love with her. He is awestruck by her beauty and completely forgets Rosalind. As the beautiful girl Juliet dances with Paris and all the dancers around, Romeo delivers a soliloquy, which means a monologue. A monologue is an act of speaking one's thoughts aloud, especially by a character in a play. Dear students, kindly refer to the display of the text as I recite the soliloquy of Romeo. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear, beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady over her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear it, sight, I never saw true beauty till this night. Romeo is fascinated with Juliet's beauty. Look at the first line. She doth teach the torches to burn bright. Doth means does in archaic or Old English. We can find a lot of imagery used in this monologue. It was a time when there was no electricity. The room was illuminated with torches burning all around. When Romeo exclaims, she doth teach the torches to burn bright, he means that Juliet's beauty surpasses the light of the torches. Her beauty is more illuminating than the light of the torch. The next two lines, it seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. As Juliet gracefully dances in the room, she looks like she is hanging in the dark ambience of the night. The night is personified in the phrase cheek of night. What is a personification? a personification is a figure of speech when inanimate or non-living objects are spoken as if they have life. They are given human attributes. As Juliet dances on the dance floor, she looks as if she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. He uses the simile to compare Juliet to a rich jewel because her beauty sparkles, and the night is compared to an Ethiop, which means an African woman. Like a jewel worn by an African woman shines brightly due to the contrast in color, Juliet too shines in contrast with the night. In the next line, Romeo says, "Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear." Romeo is so enchanted with her beauty that he feels that she is too beautiful to live on this earth, and she is too beautiful to die or be buried. She is divine. In the next two lines, "So shows a snowy dove, trooping with crows, as yonder lady over her fellows shows." Romeo uses another simile to compare Juliet to a snowy dove. Dove is a symbol of purity and innocence. He compares all the other women to crows, which means that Juliet's beauty outshines in comparison to the other dancers on the dance floor, including Rosalind. The next two lines, "The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers makes blessed my rude hand." The measure here means dance. After the dance, Romeo intends to meet Juliet and touch her hand. He believes that he would be blessed to touch her hand as she is blessed. The last two lines, "Did my heart love till now? Forswear it, sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night." In these lines, Romeo introspects and poses a question to himself. If he loved anyone before seeing Juliet, he tells himself that he had never seen anyone so beautiful and never felt so much in love. These were the thoughts expressed by Romeo as he sees Juliet. As the play progresses, the relationship of Romeo and Juliet blossoms. It reaches a point where the two lovers resolve to get married secretly. After the wedding, the two lovers depart, hoping to meet each other in Juliet's residence at night. In this unit, the next monologue we have is from Act 3. This is a scene while Juliet waits for a husband, Romeo. This soliloquy of Juliet is popularly known as Juliet's invocation to the night. As Romeo belongs to the Montague family, he was not allowed to come to Capulet's residence. Therefore, he chooses to use the shelter of darkness, that is, the night, in order to meet Juliet. The darkness would protect him from his enemies. Juliet, who waits for Romeo, invokes the night. She wants it to get darker so that Romeo can come to her soon. Look at the lines in our text as you hear me recite. "Come night, come Romeo, come thou day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night. Give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun." In the first line, Juliet invokes the night and Romeo. She uses the metaphor of the day. She calls Romeo day in night. He is a day that brings brightness in her life. Romeo's presence brings happiness. In the second line, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, she personifies the night using the phrase wings of night. The night is spoken as if it was a bird. She hopes that Romeo would come gliding on the wings of night. In the line, whiter than new snow on a raven's back, Juliet compares Romeo to the new snow. The new snow is pure and untouched. Romeo is compared to the new snow, while the raven, which is a black bird, is compared to the night. Romeo shines in contrast to the dark night. She calls the night, saying, "Come, come night, come, loving black-browed night." The night is gentle and loving because it brings Romeo to her. The night is black-browed as it protects Romeo from his enemies, just like our eyebrows protect our eyes. In the next line, give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine. Juliet seems to be having a premonition of their tragic death towards the end of the play. Juliet pleads the night to cut Romeo into little stars and put him on the night sky. As Romeo is the most charming man, the sky would have the most sparkling stars. In the last two lines, she hopes that the whole world would fall in love with the night sky, as the stars would be more beautiful than ever. She believes that the people of the world would no more pay attention to the garish sun. Garish sun means bright sun. Juliet wants Romeo to be immortalized to the world. With these thoughts, Juliet waits for Romeo, hoping to see him at night. Dear students, these two soliloquies of Romeo and Juliet from the play Romeo and Juliet reveal their unceasing love for each other. Thank you.